don't take days off, do I? When my number is called, I don't take plays off, do I? I'ma always give you 20 and 10, no matter how much you wanna pretend that I ain't clutch with it. I don't do the load management, maybe I can handle it. When the heat is on, I can manage it. I'm kinda like James Harden's career, I can walk whenever I feel. And that's facts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Others Receiving Votes podcast, sponsored by M-Glow. I'm your host, Loren Woods, a.k.a. Big Low. And welcome to the Friday Inferno. And today, I'm kind of excited about today. I've been thinking a lot over the last couple of weeks, and I got a few questions actually this week that I want to address. But it's an exciting time right now for basketball players and athletes in general all over the world, just because of the globalization of most of the popular sports. And athletes nowadays have a chance to be more famous, make more money, just more opportunities to do great things in the world. And I'm excited about it. And actually the questions that I got, I kind of relate to it, to that topic. But it's an exciting time for athletes. And today I'm going to speak about basketball players in general, because that's what I do, or that's what I did. I don't do it no more. Wish I could, but knees and ankles would have a different opinion. But at any rate, like I said, I actually got a couple of questions about this from a few different individuals, and it was all pretty much relating to the same thing. And basically, the question was, what can I do as a basketball player, as an athlete, to have a better chance to be seen, by whether it be by professional teams. And I actually had, some high school kids or a high school kid actually asking the same thing, about being on the college level. And, always, college guys and pro guys, want to know how they can be seen more so, they can get that next contract. But it's really three things that I think are the three of the best ways, you can be seen, and that's on any level. The first and foremost by far is social media, for sure, because, just with the advancements in technology and, with social media and mainstream media being, being so widespread as it is over a global audience, I mean, that's the number one place that you can be seen, or have a chance to be seen, rather. And all of you have some kind of social media, or should. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, all kinds of stuff out there where you can. I mean, everything now you can pretty much just pick up your phone and go live. And just put something together, and people can see it real time, like immediately. So, my suggestion, or, like what I would do for sure if I was in that situation, get on social media. I'd be posting every day or every other day. If you're an athlete, you're probably working out 5 or 6 days a week. Post your workouts, post all your workouts, or, any of your old highlights, any highlights from games where you're crushing it, post that. Post, how you're eating, show off, even if you don't eat this morning I had some Reese's Puff cereal. I wouldn't post that. But I definitely, if I was eating healthy, or if I was on some kind of new training regimen, or some kind of new nutritional regimen and a diet or something like that, where I was trying to get ripped, or, trying to have a certain goal where I was going to complete a task that was going to make my body look and feel better at the end of it, I'm definitely posting that, because that's going to show whoever's looking at it that you're serious, whether it be a high school coach, maybe it's you're a freshman or a sophomore in high school, and you're posting this stuff, and, you could tag your school in it. Maybe your school reposted and your coach sees it. Oh man, he's taking it serious this summer. Like I'm definitely gonna, keep him in mind when it comes to tryout time, or, you never know if it's like a professional team out there that might see your stuff, or a college coach out there that might see something, and you just never know who could lay eyes, on something that you're doing. That's why it's so important to just put it out there anyway, especially if you're doing something good. Put it out there. And now that we're talking about that, I want to get to a point that, and I'm going to talk about this later on, about distractions and a lot of things that you probably shouldn't be doing, because I've done a lot of the things that I shouldn't have done. And, and now, especially with social media, everything happens like immediately. People see it immediately. Is don't just post pics and videos and everything of you partying, especially if you're an athlete. If you're an athlete or a professional athlete and all your whole Instagram is just you in the club drinking, or you somewhere smoking cigars or something, or you just at pool parties, and like that's it, like that's the whole summer, like summer 2021 on and popping, and that's your whole, and like, what if a coach sees that, or what if a team sees that, or what if a general manager or something like that sees that, like you might get canceled out, unless you're a guy that already wouldn't need this extra exposure anyway, but you might get canceled out just on the strength of that. Like a team or a coach might be like, oh, this guy's not serious, all he does is party, all he does is smoke, all he does is like hang out, it's just doing this and doing that, like where are the pictures of him in the gym? I thought he was a basketball player. I thought he, if you're a different athlete or whatever, I thought he was like a runner. I thought, and I mean, you just got to be careful. I'm not saying don't have fun. Obviously, that's what social media is for. Put your stuff out there. But if you do have a picture of you partying or something like that, or if if it's a vacation, cool. But other than that, a couple of times a week, I was in the spot. I had to treat myself because I've been working out for 5 straight days. So, that this I'm treating myself, something like that. Super cool. All I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to tell you actually what to post. Post what you want. I'm just saying what I would think if I came across something like that and I was trying to make a decision on a player. That's it. The second thing is all kinds of exposure agencies and platforms out there specifically for this, and that's on every level, high school, college, and pro level. All kinds of agencies out there, platforms where you can just go pretty much create an account or something like that, talk to a representative, and they'll walk you through a process or something like that, and like boom, there it is, it's done. Now, I do want to talk about this because I think a lot of times, or a lot of guys out there are paying for things that they probably shouldn't be paying for in the beginning. And let me just explain a little bit about that. Especially with these agencies and platforms and stuff like that, where like all they're gonna do is like market you, or you just be in a place where maybe coaches can see you or something like that. Start with the free ones, or even if you start with if you go with one that they have paying options, get the basic option, like the basic cheapest option, or a free option is even better, to be honest with you, because from my research, there, the percentage is the same. You're pretty, if you're not going to get in to a certain, break into a certain industry, or break in on a certain level or something like that, go into one of these kind of agencies or exposures. It's probably not going to help you that much more if you pay, is what I'm saying. If you're paying more, it's probably not going to help you that much more. That's what I'm saying. Like, just do the free one, or do the basic one. If you're going to pay, pay, whatever you're going to pay, however much a month, or however much for the whole year, super small amount, and then just let that be the end of it. Don't go pay thousands and thousands of dollars, because it's probably not going to happen you're not going to have that much better of a chance anyway, is what I'm saying. Not that something that you can do on your own, because you already have social media. That's free. Everybody's social media is free, unless you start, promoting your own videos or something like that. But again, if that's the case, you could do it yourself. And then you don't have to pay these agencies to do it for you. But there are good agencies and platforms out there that you do have to pay. What I would suggest is contact some of their former clients. hit somebody up for sure. In this industry, it's huge, but you can get in contact with anybody fairly easy via social media, via their website. Even if you talk to a rep, say, hey, you got former clients. Oh, really? Yeah. So did they make it? Yeah. Give me the contacts of the ones that made it. Give me the contacts of some of the people that didn't make it. Do your research. And then if you feel like, okay, this is the place, I do have to pay thousands of dollars, and then I'm gonna get in, do it. But other than that, start off with free, start off with the basic package. And then, the third thing, and I kind of touched on it, towards the end of the second, contact former players and ask. I mean, that's like the best research possible, because players, even players that I do not like or that I've had problems with in the past, if they call me up right now and was like, hey, listen, never mind. It'd be about their kids because, we old as hell now. But, you know what I'm saying? So let's say like like a guy I played against in my 20s hit me up, say, hey, man, listen, I got a son. I heard you know a little bit about what's going on, or I heard, you have this, tell me about this place, because he's thinking about going there to play, or tell me about, this training facility. What do you know about it? I'm not going to give out the wrong information. I'm not going to be like, man, F off, man. Remember that one time I'm not going to do that. Not to somebody that played, period. It wasn't that bad. Whatever bad blood we had, it wasn't that bad, where I want something bad to happen to his kids, or, give them the wrong information. But players usually look out for each other like that. So contact former players. Hey, man, listen, I heard you played over there. What's it like? Hey, I heard you, you used this agency or this marketing company. What are they like? Hey, tell me a little bit about, this situation. And players they'll freely give you all the information. I talk to players all the time. Like I literally every day I'm talking to some player that I either played against, that we're friends, something like that. And, all we do is just share, oh man, I never played there. What was it like? 15, 20-minute conversation. And then, he or she will be like, oh man, I never played there. What was that like? 15, 20-minute conversation. We could talk for hours just back and forth about situations, and that's just how we are, because, we want to let people know we have the information, so do your research, contact former players. Another question that I got this past week was, basically, if I don't get any feedback right away, am I just blindly being hopeful? Wishing that something is going to happen and it probably won't happen. Maybe, that's kind of how I took the question, and unfortunately, the answer to this question is yes. Until you get that contract, you just being hopeful. And that's everybody. Everybody started off like that, even, before, the big time superstars got their max contracts, they had to get those first contracts. And before they got those first contracts, they had to get recruited in college, or, some of them went out of high school. They had to get recruited out of high school, or, some of them had to be on their AAU team. You until you get that first one, and then after you get that first one, until you get that second one, it's just hope, because you never know what could happen. But that's the good news. The good news is all basketball players, all athletes, all people in every industry, you got to be hopeful until you get that contract. You have to. Me, myself, I was hopeful for, I don't know how many years I played before I got my first check. So maybe 12 years. I was playing since I was 10. I think I signed my first contract when I was 22. And I was just hopeful. I was hopeful in high school that, well, at first I was hopeful, when I first started high school, that I was going to play. I was playing with 2-3 All-Americans. So, and I was definitely not an All-American when I first started. So, I was just hoping I could get in the game. But, after that, it was like, okay, I hope I can be seen by colleges. Then once I knew I was on that level, then I was like, all right, I hope I can, get to college, sign that letter of intent. Then after that, it was like, all right, I hope I can get to the pros. It's always hope. It's always hope. And I remember when I got to the pros, I'll tell you this story. I remember when I got to the pros, like when I first got drafted, I got drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Shout out to the Minnesota Timberwolves because, the story is great for me. I got injured in college. I fell far in the draft. I thought I was going to go higher. Didn't. That's neither here nor there. Point is, dropped all the way in the second round. Minnesota Timberwolves that year, I think it was the first year, or they were on probation or something like that. For something that happened, I think they lost like 3 or 4 years of first round picks. So they were all the way in the second round, and they drafted me in the second round. And in the second round, there are no guaranteed contracts. Like, no team has to give a player a guaranteed contract. It's just a minimum contract. And I think, like the all second round picks, this is when I played. It might be different now. At that time, all second round picks, you just had to make the team. And then if you made it past a certain date, then you had that second year automatically in your contract. So, it was like non-guaranteed. You basically had to prove yourself if you were a second round pick for a number of months. And then once you made it to that point, then your contract was guaranteed for that year, the rest of that year, and the next year. But it's still, you never know what could happen. You have, one bad move or one misstep or something like that. You might be out for 2 or 3 months, or anything can happen where that contract could be taken away until you make it to that deadline. But they drafted me. I didn't sign any contract or anything before I played in the summer league. So I played in the summer league. After the summer league was over, I had a pretty good summer league. The team, they liked me. The coaches liked me. I had fun. I wasn't even worried about anything. I had been through so much. I was just happy to be there at that moment. Like, whoa, I can't even believe that they drafted me because of all the things that I had gone through up until that point. But right after my last summer league game, I remember talking to that the GM and the coach came into the locker room and were like, "Hey, listen, you know what? We feel like you're a first round pick, and we feel like if we were in the first round, we would have taken you, and so we're going to offer you a guaranteed contract, a 1-year guaranteed contract." And for me, I was like, what? Like that, because I knew what I was going up against, and I pretty much figured like, yeah, I was going to have a non-guaranteed contract, and I was going to have to basically be on like a 4-month tryout. And they were like, well, we're going to everything's going to get done, get all the paperwork done. You sign this contract and you're good. First year, all guaranteed, and for me, that was like an accomplishment. I was proud, for that to happen. But up until that point, I was just hopeful that I would even get there, and then when I got there, I was like, all right, I hope that, after 4 months, nothing happens. I don't get hurt or, I don't play bad or something like that. That, I play well enough where I can make it to that deadline. And I didn't even have to make it there. I was just let it all go. And it happened, which is it's going to bring me to wrapping this up. It's the two most important character traits you have to have in this game, in basketball, is confidence and patience, and you got to be confident that you're good enough. You've been training for so many years to get to this point. You definitely have the skills. I mean, anybody who's been doing anything for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, 11 years, you have the skill. So you definitely are good enough, but you got to be confident enough. You got to be confident in your skills to know that, you can make it. And if you don't have a particular skill or you think you need to work on or improve something, I mean, I don't even need to tell you, or I shouldn't have to tell you, then you need to be out there working on that anyway. Work on what you need to get better at, period. But, even more important than confidence, maybe at this stage, is patience. Anybody at the point where they're ready to turn pro, or they think they're good enough to, make high school varsity, or, they think they're good enough to, get a college scholarship or whatever, you got to have patience, especially if you're not one of the, the top guys that's just going to get it, handed to them immediately, and they don't get it handed to them. I mean, they put in a lot of work and effort too, but, they're at the top for whatever reason at that point. And, they're just going to get the first pick. But after that, everybody after that, you just got to have patience. And I've been around this game for 3 decades, 30 plus years. And you can't rush the timetable on anything. And I'm talking, that's knowledge, experience, development, injury, anything. It's just not even possible, really. When you try to rush things, usually something bad happens. And the reason that something bad happens is because you're not ready in that certain area at that moment. And that's all it is. You just got to keep working and be ready for that opportunity, because it's going to present itself. Trust me, like I said, 30 years, I've seen some crazy things happen, man. And I've been in some situations myself where I was like, yeah, there's no way that something's good's going to come out of this situation. And then boom, like immediately the next day or like the next hour or the next week, some opportunity happens that I was ready for. Sometimes I wasn't ready. Something bad happened. When I was ready, something good happened, So you just got to stay ready, keep working. And when that opportunity presents itself, you got to just know, be confident and know that you're good enough, and you're going to seize that moment. But you got to have the patience to know that things will happen exactly when they're supposed to happen. It's simple. Y'all stay fortunate and be blessed.
I don't take days off, do I? When my number is called, I don't take plays off, do I? I'ma always give you 20 and 10, no matter how much you wanna pretend that I ain't clutch with it. I don't do the load management, maybe I can handle it. When the heat is on, I can manage it. I'm kinda like James Harden's career, I can walk whenever I feel, and that's facts. It's like the clock's ticking down on our trust. It's like the clock's ticking down on